What's up, everybody? Rebel Rousing Redneck here.
Hi.
This is my friend Sam.
I'm Sam.
By the way, her channel is Farmville Real Moms. Check her out.
Yes, I do believe it's Farmville's. I don't know. I need to change the damn name. Anyway, so this is our collab video because we're gonna blow up on YouTube. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, 1.2 million apiece.
I mean, that's our goal by the end of next year. Actually, we just came up with that. Anyway, so here's a trigger warning. If anybody feels uncomfortable talking about death, talking about anxiety, talking about depression, talking about all those icky things, you should probably click out of this. Because this is going to be from two people who suffer from mental illness. This is going to be a mental illness video and our take on it and how it's affected our lives. So, if you don't want to hear about it, you should probably check out.
Yeah, it might be a wise decision.
Oh,
but
if
other
you
than
don't
that,
like the fact that I look like a damn treasure troll. Anyway.
Anyway,
Decided to throw this
so the title of this video, I haven't decided what I want to name the title, but
it's going to be about depression and anxiety, so.
yeah, depression, anxiety, etc. So that's the main thing I want to hit on today in this video is depression mainly.
And if you have any comments or questions, or if you're a person that suffers from mental illness, we definitely want to hear your story. Everybody's story is valid. Please leave it in the comment section, but let's just remember to be respectful to one another, because if not, we gonna go to fuck off. Okay?
Yep, and I don't mind rocking an orange jumper. I actually look damn good in one. I look
We
better
so
in
white, we look good in orange.
I look better. I look better in an orange jumper than the Joker does.
I would look like a fucking pumpkin right now. Look, green top and an orange jumpsuit. I'd look like a pumpkin.
But anyway, I will start off with y'all about a little bit about my depression. My depression stems from my mother died when I was 11. I watched my mother die in front of me at 11 years old. And that kind of...
Back up a little bit. Fully in the camera.
That kind of jump started it. I was already not really happy before my mother died anyway.
Because sometimes it's a chemical imbalance, and then sometimes it's situational. It's totally dependent upon the person and the individual. We should probably just throw that out there.
And, as the years got on, I kept getting bullied, and that made my depression get worse. And, always had to go to the, psych hospital and all that. I think altogether in my whole life, I've been to the psych ward. I've been admitted 186 times. And that's all just for depression.
Damn. I've not been admitted that many times, but I've been there.
Because people wanted to say, when I said I wasn't happy, they thought I was going to kill myself. Which I did not say I was going to commit suicide. I just said, I'm not happy, I'm depressed. And like, in the city of Virginia Beach, which is where I was at the time where I was born, as soon as a kid says they're not happy or they're depressed, oh my God, he's going to kill himself. And then they throw him in the mental hospital. And that's exactly what they did to me. So now, as the years get by, my mom...
Do you want to tell them what you're diagnosed with? Maybe it would...
I was diagnosed with bipolar 2, which is the more stronger one.
Yeah, there's different symptoms. We should probably... I'm going to Google that just so we can tell our viewers what the difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 is.
I was diagnosed with multiple personality disorder, PTSD, and something else. I don't remember what it was, but schizophrenia. But
okay, so let me read the definition for people who don't know the difference between 1 and 2. The main difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, this is coming straight off of Google, and they're pulling it from some sort of health hotline, or health line. It might help if I read that. Anyway, the main difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 disorders lie in the severity of manic episodes caused by each type. Manic meaning you're up. You're really, really high up. Like, I have so much energy. I'm so happy. I can, like, do anything, like Superman moments. The mania is more severe with bipolar disorder 2. Bipolar disorder 2, something called hypomania, which is essentially a less severe form of mania.
I'm gonna get my drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Be right back.
So there are different types of bipolar. Let's see. So bipolar, let's look up that also so we can tell you guys. What's the definition of bipolar disorder?
Here's the definition of bipolar disorder. A mental disorder marked by alternating periods of elation and depression.
So it's, there's never an even keel moment. You're always really, really up, or you're always really, really down, and you're never, like, in the middle, which is considered even keel. I know a lot of bipolar people. I've dated some bipolar people. If you're watching this, that was a lot of salt. Anyway.
Can you taste the flavors?
Can y'all? It's a whole bag of fucking Lay's potato chips in this bitch. Anyway. Also dated a person with schizophrenia. And I'm not dissing these people because of their mental disorders at all. Because I have mental disorders. I'm dissing them because they just sucked as individuals. Anyway. So, not that I was the greatest. Anyway, so, how has this affected your life? So, like, you gave us a little bit brief history, so how has this affected your life?
It's affected my life in a negative way. You know, sometimes I can't be happy. I let it get in the way of things like my relationships and all that stuff. You know? But, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's something I can't help. People always say, oh, bipolar depression is just a fucking excuse. I'm sorry, but it's not an excuse if you got diagnosed with it. Okay? And it's not an excuse. People really can't help that.
But you are still in control of your behavior, though, when you have these. You're still responsible for it. Maybe I should say. Not always in control, but definitely responsible. So I guess this is my turn. This is not something I really, really wanted to talk about, but I guess I'm going to. So, my diagnoses right now are just anxiety, just a general spectrum anxiety, and then I have postpartum depression mixed with probably some regular just general depression. They can't figure out if I'm bipolar or not. I don't really have manic episodes where I'm like really, really happy. Mine's more just depression. I have times where I'm even keel, but when I tank, I tank. So I just recently had my third son. Me and my husband celebrated 10 years, and that emotionally was the hardest pregnancy for me. I have been in a mental institution once. Mental institution, try that one. And I've also been to rehab. Mine was more, I want to say at the time, I definitely do probably have a chemical imbalance. I want to throw that out there. I have several family members that some take medicine, some don't, but it's definitely like clinical depression, and it's hereditary for the most part. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. So anyway, about 5.5 years ago, well, 5 years ago, I had my son Landon, my second child, and I probably always had some depression and anxiety when I was younger. I never felt good about myself. I cried a lot, very emotional, very quick to anger, very just not in control of my emotions a lot. And I thought it was just being a teenager and teenage angst and growing up. And I'm sure a lot of it was that. But it's this hereditary chemical imbalance. So that packed with drugs are bad. And just a whole lot of bad decisions. I ended up, that along with having a son, I ended up tanking, and by that I mean I had just hit my lowest of my lows. Me and my social services was in my life, getting ready to take my kids because I was being a shitty mom and I cared more about drugs than I did my children. Me and my husband were getting ready to get divorced because he couldn't take it anymore. I was so selfish and so wrapped up. Like, I was having all these issues in my head, and to combat all those, I was taking all those drugs to try to make me feel better, and it was just this snowball effect of nastiness, and he couldn't take it anymore. And so what led me to the mental institution was that I tried to kill myself, and it's something really, really real. And I want to sit here and say that, coming from a person who's done it, or attempted to do it, maybe I should say, it's selfish, in a way. But you're not thinking like that. Like, normal people in normal mindsets are like, how could you do that? That's so fucking selfish, you know? And it is. To leave your family, you know, to leave your friends, to have people live with guilt and shame for the rest of their life, thinking it was their fault or there was something that they could do. It really is. But when you're in that situation and you're just so low, you think you're under this assumption that the world is better off without you. And sometimes I have to fight that every day. Because I have kids and I have a loving family and I have a loving husband and I have all these things, and I just want to say, if there's anybody watching this, depression and anxiety is not logical. You have this logical side of your brain, and then you have this other part of your brain that's very emotional and very just haywire, and for me personally, they conflict a lot. I'm back at a place where I'm not on drugs, but I'm back in a place again where I'm dealing with postpartum and the fact that I always suffer from some sort of chemical imbalance. And I'm back in the place now where there's some days where I don't want to get up. I'm not a big fan of medication. There's a whole lot of side effects. I think maybe to get me personally over some small little humps, I take it sporadically, but all the time it's just not a thing for me. So I'm looking currently into some holistic things to sort of help me. And so holistic meaning like herbal, holistic meaning like from the earth, holistic meaning like non-pharmaceutical. And so I'm talking to this lady at my church. I know I cuss a lot, and then I said I go to church. Oh, that's me. But anyway, so that's personally what I'm trying. But so if you're watching this, you're not alone, and you are very much worth it.
And I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Another reason why my depression is where it's at is a little over 3 years ago, I had a little boy. He was 18 months old, and he died of leukemia, stage 4. This is when I was living back in Virginia Beach, and his mother didn't care. I stayed in the hospital. That whole time he was there, and it just, I've seen the highs and the lows, and there were days, I can honestly say there were more good days than bad, but if you count them all out, they were equal. And he just, toward the end, he was just getting bad, and it got to the point where I had to make a legal decision, to keep him on life support or pull him off, and
So sometimes your depression is caused by situational things, and things get better and things get worse, and life is life sometimes. But if you guys are struggling, you're not alone. Hopefully when we post this, we're going to post some links for like the National Suicide Hotline and stuff like that. But we're here and we're out here. And it isn't until, this is what bothers me, it's not until a damn celebrity dies that people want to be like, oh, suicide, oh my god, people actually feel this way.
Yeah, it was weird because...
What?
Okay, Chris Cornell died, killed himself. Chester Bennington killed himself. Robin Williams killed himself.
That latest designer, whatever the hell her name was.
Anthony Bourdain killed himself. It's just... what is up with it's You know, I
So
heard,
so money. We just want to say money does not buy happiness. Just because you have everything, don't mean you're not going to be depressed.
and here's the thing. I heard this from somebody one time. You know, you could look happy on the outside.
And be dying.
Yeah, and be dying like Robin Williams was dying on the inside. His way of his depression was he loved to make people laugh.
And that's another thing a lot of people hide behind these masks. So we're very fortunate because in Japanese culture, suicide and mental illness is not talked about. It's a very taboo subject. Y'all think it's taboo over here? We over here complaining about the shit we got in this country. Go to Japan and try to talk about some mental illness.
Well,
They gonna shut your ass down real quick.
well, Logan Paul got caught filming Suicide Forest over there, and he went to.
And that's a really weird, that's a really, really real thing, is that these people live in a society where they're, you know, you have to achieve and you have to be a go-getter and you have to be the best at everything. And then there's so much pressure, just regular pressure. And then imagine living in a society like that. And then imagine having a chemical imbalance on top of that. So some of it's situational and some of it's a chemical imbalance and a lot of it's society. And the next thing you know, these people want to kill themselves. So they go to this very remote forest. It's a very beautiful forest. There's nothing really wrong with the forest other than people go there and they take their fucking lives. Like, it's a really real thing. Like, it's a really real thing in this country. It's a really real thing in other countries. And it's time to cut the crap. Like, let's just talk about it. Like, I do not agree with, I can't remember that, I'm gonna have to look this up. But then it's this new Japanese fashion trend where it's all like cutesy, but then they want to kill themselves and it's very emo, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to start the conversation, okay? And I get that. I don't think that's the way you should go about it, but I totally get that. Because I feel like it's something that we need to talk about. I don't like talking about it. I don't like facing the fact that, like, I'm not normal. I haven't figured out what normal is. But I'm not that.
I don't think I've ever been normal.
I don't think I know anybody who's normal. Like, really normal. Like, I know some people who front.
Dude, they're not normal.
No, fuck no, they're not normal. Gonna have to edit that out. Anyway, but, you know, your life is worth living. And somebody out there loves you. And you have a purpose. And so if you're feeling that way, please go talk to somebody. Feel free to hit one of us up and talk to us about it. Like anything, just don't commit suicide and check on people. Like if somebody seems really, really strong, 9 times out of 10 they're not. I put on this tremendous front, like especially with my family, like don't let them bother me. I'm okay, blah, 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 blah. Until I went to a mental health facility because homegirl tried to kill herself. Like, not okay. So just check on people, you know, it's not an excuse for them to act an ass by any means. I'm not sitting here saying that. I got a friend doing that now. Anyway, but there was shade. And, but it also is, we need to be a community and we need to get together and there needs to be more talks about this. And, so this is our effort to try to do something because we're always talking about let's promote change. Stop talking about let's do it.
So, that's it, guys, for today.
I hope you guys got informed, I guess.
We're already over 18 minutes.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go. But we just want to say thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll be back on a next video. See you guys later. Bye.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.